Hello viewers, chessmates and checkmaters. Here I am Rook-ie King again with the new video. This is my second video. Today let's play our second match. Like, share and subscribe. Do watch my first video if you haven't watched that. It's my second day streak on chess.com as well. Let's start our match and I have an opponent. Opponent's name is Renarsand. Opponent gets white and goes for pawn f4. Now I don't know what to move in response. I think of knight, but I push pawn d5 in the response. The chess.com website considers the moves as birds opening with Dutch variation. I don't know the bookish moves. This move from opponent was entirely different from what I have seen. Let's see what the opponent does next. He's taking a lot of time in his second move. I think he is going to push a pawn. Yeah, he pushed the pawn. I am going to go for knight f6. He does pushes the knight to f3. I don't know what is he doing now. Let me go for knight c6. Here I push my knight. Now let's see what happens. He takes a lot of time in a move. A lot of time, man. I don't know why he opened in such a way that he is unable to make his next move. I am thinking to castle my pieces by pushing the bishop into the center. But let us see what Renarsand does so that I can castle. He goes for the knight g5. I don't know what is he trying to do. Next, let me castle. Before that, let's push bishop attacking in the center. But I don't like for a long castle after pushing the queen. Let's wait for opponent's move, then I can move pawn and black squares bishop. But he can take on my pawn, but this pawn is not hanging. Let's push it to center. Let's push the pawn. We are on the sixth move of white side of chess, that is opponent. Opponent takes a lot of time. I am already in good position watching onto the clock. I am a minute ahead in the game. There's no point loss or a profit at this moment. Both of us go defensive. I still wish to take a chance in small castle, pushing my bishop in the center. Opponent now wishes to take on my hanging bishop using a bishop. Now I can take my bishop to a safe square. I am still at the same point watching that I can somehow castle. I don't know why my opponent Renarsand is thinking a lot at this moment of time. Even opponent didn't lose anything, she is taking a lot amount of time after my every move. Let's wait for his move. Opponent is just in different opening positions. I don't know what is my opponent going to do. I am thinking to attack his queen as it is stuck. He takes his bishop one step back, saving his queen. Now let's go for castle. I pushed my bishop to b4, pinning his pawn on d2. I don't know what my opponent is going to do ahead in the game where there is still no lead after 7 each moves. He uses a massive amount of time after my moves. Is he gonna trap me somewhere? Let's see. He chooses removing bishop from protection. I go for the castle in the 8th responsive move. My opponent is gonna take time. Till then, like, share and subscribe. Now he goes for pawn pushing, I don't know why. I see a pawn being pushed. I go for it. I take it. But I may lose my knight. My knight is hanging in the g4. Opponent's queen may take it. He doesn't take with the queen, instead tries to scare me with his rook by pushing it from h1 to g1. I place my knight back to f6. Now he pushes the bishop, attacking my protected knight. Check the clock, I am way ahead. I push my bishop, attacking the queen, and my bishop is protected by knight. He pushes his pawn, ignoring my bishop. I take the queen, and obviously opponent takes the bishop. I push pawn to attack bishop. Opponent takes back his bishop. I push my pawn, blocking black square of my bishop, and also protecting it. Opponent takes a step of pawn. I am going to push my pawn b6 to b5. Opponent goes for hanging knight by his bishop. But I take my knight to a7. He pushes bishop ahead. I push my pawn, stopping the bishop exit. Opponent pushes bishop towards b7. I go for rook b8. Opponent goes back with his bishop. Let me pack his bishop using rook b6. Opponent chooses pushing bishop down to c8. I capture the bishop using the knight. I am 10 points ahead and clock is also in my side. He comes up for d3 pawn. I choose rook a6. He takes his knight back to f3. I take back my rook. He pushes knight in the center. I push the knight to b6. He comes wishing to take my queen by his knight. I push queen, attacking the knight. Opponent takes back his knight. I push my 5 pawn to a4. He pushes the other knight, but keeps it hanging. I'm gonna take it with my bishop. He puts in hanging bishop. Here I take opponent's bishop, and I am 13 points and 4 minutes ahead in the game. He slides his rook to save itself. I save my bishop. Knight takes the pawn and is pushed to take my bishop. I take his knight using my queen. He checks me with a rook, but leaves it hanging. I take his rook. Now I have 22 points in the game. He slides down his king. I have to save my king from his rook check. Comes up pushing his pawn a3. I bring back my bishop to a5. He pushes another pawn. I take it without really thinking much. He takes my pawn, attacking my queen. But his rook is open now. I take it very easily. He takes my pawn in the center. At this moment, I am at 27 points. I take his pawn and give him a check using queen. He gets out of my queen's check. But here comes in my knight. His king slides down to d4 to save itself. I take his one pawn for no reason using knight. I am 28 points in the game. He has 1 minute in the clock. I give him a checkmate by using the rook to d8, attacking his king. Here is my 2-day streak and second match on YouTube. Let's end up the video here. See you in the next video. Bye.